There we go. Now, we're on live, are we not, Steve?
Yes.
And, man, are we looking good.
Well, the thing that gets me is that, you Zuckerberg, we'll talk about more of this later, but Zuckerberg at the Senate hearing yesterday. And, trying to excuse away the censorship that he's putting on to Facebook by saying, well, our company is there in a very left-leaning valley. Well, that's no excuse. You want to encourage all speech as long as it's not terrorist-related per se or wishing harm on someone. But they got Diamond and Silk that's based out of Rayford. They have 1.2 million followers, and they pulled their ability to notify their followers that they were going to be performing, at such and such a time, and the it's kind of disheartening that they try to silence them because they are two African American women who support Trump, and they've got their own style of the way they deliver things and talk about things, and it's been very popular. They've actually been able to go out on tour and play some venues and charge for it, and they're making a living. In one stroke, Mark Zuckerberg unplugs their channel, and they're out of business.
And the reason given is that they're dangerous. Now, if you've
dangerous
ever watched,
to the community.
If you've ever watched Diamond and Silk, that is just patently false. There's just, oh man, it's hard to take. They're very entertaining, and they've got some very good insights.
It's more of a comedy act where they're with a serious side to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
But maybe
they're
they'll
sisters, and they've got their thing.
Maybe they'll get reinstated here because Ted Cruz brought them up yesterday at the hearing. Whether it sticks in little lefty's head, I don't know.
Cruz was good yesterday.
But the question becomes, does one huge corporation with 2 billion subscribers, which is basically a monopoly under their type of format, get to play God and start censoring? Or does the government need to step in and break up the monopoly, create some competition so it will encourage them not to do such things?
No.
But when you got autonomy and a monopoly per se, monopolies shouldn't exist. Not without regulation.
You and I disagree on this.
Well, disagree. You have to have some monopolies. They're not a have-to-have monopoly. Now, they built a better mousetrap, and that's why nobody can open up and compete against them. They can't get traction. And
now Zuckerberg wants to be regulated, and he wants to help poor Lindsey Graham write the regulations. I think it was Rush a couple weeks ago that said it smells like, or last week, so it smells like cronyism.
Well, whatever it is,
and
monopolies never end good. And look at AT&T. They used to own all the long distance lines in this country long before cell phones. And if you wanted to make a long distance call, you had to get an operator at one time at AT&T, and they would make the call. Then if you wanted to make a person-to-person call to make sure you didn't get charged unless you were talking to that person, because back then, just as somebody picked up the other end of the line, it was 50 cents a minute. It's pretty high. In some cases, it'd be more than that. It was depending on how far away the call was. But they had the only game in town. And that's when the government finally stepped in and said, you control too much of a necessary utility, and we're going to break you up into the areas of the country that you are. So they did. That led to competition. That brought the phone cost of a phone call way down. to like a nickel a minute, from 50 cents a minute to a nickel a minute. And from there, we merged into cell phone usage and started putting that up in big cities, and then it spread pretty quick. And before long, everybody has a cell phone. They can call anywhere in the world, pretty much call anywhere in this country for free. So that's what competition will do sometimes. And I don't think the government overstepped their regulations into the phone situation. All right, 7:34 past the hour. Let's do our sound bites this morning. Like we said, Zuckerberg testified yesterday. Here's a little sample of how it sounded.
Our witness today is Mark Zuckerberg, founder, chairman, chief executive officer of Facebook. I now turn to you. Welcome to the committee. So proceed, sir.
I just wanted to say that I'm a nerd. And I'm here tonight to stand up for the rights of other nerds. I mean, all our lives, we've been laughed at and made to feel inferior. And I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
So this concludes today's hearing. The hearing is adjourned.
Okay, inspiring words there. And then they finally...
From what movie?
From the Senate hearing yesterday.
Do you know what movie, by the way?
Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds.
There's finally a sequel to Forrest Gump starring Senator Bill Nelson of Florida coming out.
It was the movie that captured moviegoers' hearts, Forrest Gump.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
And now, finally, the sequel, Forrest Gump 2, starring Senator Bill Nelson of Florida.
I love a certain kind of chocolate. All of a sudden, I start receiving advertisements for chocolate.
Forrest Gump 2.
What if I don't want chocolate?
Coming soon.
There's a video online of a guy riding down the highway on the hood of his car because he called someone trying to steal it. He tells the guy filming to call the cops because the one driving it stole his car. Here's the audio.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, it's the things you see on America's highways these days.
I don't think there's anything new about something like that.
Let's see. Back to the Zuckerberg thing. Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana had some choice words for Mark yesterday at the hearing.
Here's what everybody's been trying to tell you today, and I say this gently. Your user agreement sucks. You can spot me 75 IQ points. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. The purpose of that user agreement is to cover Facebook's rear end. It's not to inform your users about their rights. Now, you know that, and I know that. I'm going to suggest to you that you go back home and rewrite it. And tell your $1,200 an hour lawyers, no disrespect, they're good. But tell them you want it written in English, in non-Swahili.
Okay, and why are these things written that way?
To cover their butts.
To cover their butts from what?
From doing anything they want to do, literally, on that website.
No, they're written that way because of how all the government regulations and laws are written. It's the same reason why you've got to fill out a tome in order to buy a house, all driven by government regulation.
I see. It seems like some of the senators questioning Mark Zuckerberg yesterday didn't really understand Facebook. Orrin Hatch asked how Facebook made money if it were free. Lindsey Graham compared social media to cars, and John Toome called him Zuckerberger. Here's that little foray.
How do you sustain a business model in which users don't pay for your service?
Senator, we run ads.
I see.
If I buy a Ford and it doesn't work well and I don't like it, I can buy a Chevy. If I'm upset with Facebook, what's the equivalent product that I can go sign up for?
Well, there's the second category that I was going to talk about.
I'm not talking about categories. I'm talking about is there real competition you face? Because car companies face a lot of competition. If they make a defective car, it gets out in the world, people stop buying that car, they buy another one. Is it an alternative to Facebook in the private sector?
MySpace.
Yes, Senator. The average American uses 8 different apps to communicate with their friends and stay in touch with people, ranging from texting apps to email.
It's the same service you provide.
Well, we provide a number of different services.
Is Twitter the same as what you do?
It overlaps with a portion of what we do.
You don't think you have a monopoly?
It certainly doesn't feel like that to me.
Okay.
I think we've been going now for just under 2 hours, so I think what we'll do is...
do a few more.
Zuckerberger, are you...
Okay, some of the fun from yesterday.
I'm not a fan of Orrin Hatch, but that was a legitimate question because they're trying to say, we didn't sell any of that information. No, they don't just sell ads. They sell information. They've been doing it for... Did you hear Rush Limbaugh yesterday?
No.
He was going down playing clips of people who were giving speeches about what they had done during the Obama run. And they talked directly about pulling information out of Facebook and doing everything that Cambridge Analytics is being accused of doing. And, of course, they were hailed as heroes and geniuses by the New York Times and whatnot. I'm sure that it's on Limbaugh's site. You can't hear it, but you can read it if you're interested in doing that. And so, and then the question about is there competition, you're a monopoly. No, there are a lot of other things that we can go to, including MySpace, which was the original Facebook and was overcome by Facebook.
Well, Facebook,
you want that genius right in the laws to say that Facebook can't be a monopoly? Lindsey Graham?
Well, I want a collaborative effort I don't think Facebook should be, it needs to be broken down.
Collaborative effort is called a free market, truly free market.
Well, you can talk all that you want. There comes a point in time, and nobody's more for free enterprise than me.
Well, except me.
But there comes a point in time when government is needed because somebody builds such a good mousetrap that it stifles any and all competition. And right now, Facebook is so huge that no one can compete with it. So there is no competition. The only way something can shift away from Facebook's dominance is somebody else build a better mousetrap somewhere.
Yes, and as people are leaving Facebook, then that's going to happen.
You take Jeff Bezos. He's worked out a way to
beat Walmart.
Can I finish the thought? He's worked out the way to come in and basically, you go to stores looking for something and it's not there. Or you spend way too much of your time searching stores for something that might be there, only to find out they're out. And that kind of thing. And it becomes a big frustration. And you also don't want fighting crowds and everything else. And there was a big demand for that, particularly in everybody's hurried up life and wanting more time for themselves, the me generation, which he tapped into. And he got it, he says, hey, I can get it to you tomorrow. You find it on my website, and it'll be there tomorrow. If you want it that fast, you'll pay extra for it. Or I'll get it there in 2 days for free if you buy a Prime membership to my club, kind of like a Sam's Club. but you get free shipping, so you get your money back on the shipping deal, and plus they give you their access to their videos channel, which is Amazon Video, Prime Video. And there's a lot of good material on there to watch. So you feel like you get your, I think, what is it, $90 a year now? You feel like you get it back pretty quick. But you can go on there, you can find anything just about, and it'll come to you in 2 days. It's kind of hard to beat. And a lot of times it's cheaper than you can find in the stores. Like I buy Red Bull. I drink a Red Bull every day. And who wants to lug a case of Red Bull from the grocery store? You got to pick it up, put it in the cart, get it to the cashier, pick it up, check it out, pick it up again, put it back in the cart, go to your car, pick it up, and you got to put it in your car, get to your place, your home, and you got to pick it up and carry it inside, and that's heavy. It's 8 pounds a gallon. Whereas if you stop. And you get it from Facebook, and the mailman delivers it right to the door, and that makes it a whole lot easier on you. But Facebook has also gotten the model down, and they got such a monopoly that a lot of companies are having a hard time competing against them. Sears would be one of them. The mom and pops just can't do it. They got to go so niche to survive that it's difficult for them to make a living. So there comes a point, and if he gets into too many segments of the economy, now he's bought a grocery store chain and everything else. There's enough competition, grocery store chains. I'm not worried about it. But in the big cities, he's going to get it so he'll do your grocery shopping, get it to your house before you get home from work, which is a pretty good trick. And a good service. So I'm not saying I can foresee the day he might get regulated because he'll control too much of the Americans' economy. Just like Standard Oil did, and like I said, Ma Bell did. And that's when it becomes time to tell them to give it up. Yesterday on Ellen, the Walmart yodeling kid was on Ellen yesterday, and he yodeled a little bit for her just to give you an example of what he did.
I got a feeling got him blue. Oh, Lord, till my baby say goodbye. Lord, I don't know what to do. All I do is sit and sigh. Oh, Lord, that last Sunday she said goodbye. Well, Lord, I thought I would cry. She do me, she do you. She's got the kind of loving Lord, I love to hear when she called me sweet Daddy. Such a beautiful dream.
All right, that's enough of that. Anyway.
That's a kid that was yodeling in Walmart, right?
Yeah. And so Ellen mustered up a bunch of big surprises for the yodeling kid and doled out the prizes as though, and so nonchalantly, here's this and here's this, and instead of the big build-up, a brand new car. Here's Ellen.
Remember how you said you wanted to sing at the Grand Ole Opry, and I said that takes a long time, right?
Yes.
Well, we have a lot of friends. We have a lot of connections, so I called my friends at the Grand Ole Opry, and they want you to perform there Saturday.
Oh, my God!
Saturday. And there's one more place that you're going to perform, and that's this week. So Saturday, Grand Ole Opry, and then you're going to go to your local Walmart in Harrisburg, Illinois. They're going to go put on a huge concert for you. It's going to be live on Walmart's Facebook page. And since you want to go to college, our friends at Walmart want to help you, and they're going to give you a scholarship for $15,000.
There you go.
Well, that's nice.
Good things happen to people from time to time here. Jimmy Fallon joked last night about Michael Cohen getting raided by the FBI on his show, in which he said,
Speaking of the president, the FBI raided the office of Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen. You know it's bad when you call your lawyer and your lawyer's like, you got to speak to my lawyer. It looks like Michael Cohen is in some serious trouble here. In fact, Cohen is so screwed that today he paid himself $130,000. I mean...
You know, they never, Cohen never denied that he paid Stormy off to, you got to remember, Stormy was trying to peddle her story everywhere. And it got bought off by Michael Cohen. He offered up the money, bought the story, and she signed a non-disclosure agreement. She wouldn't talk about it. How is that any different? You know, they want to try to say that this was an in-kind, what they call an in-kind contribution to the campaign. How would that be different than if Matt took his time and on his nickel and went door to door handing out literature for Trump? That's not reported on the campaign contribution form, but it's a form of in-kind contribution. It would be Matt's way of contributing to the campaign with the sweat of his brow.
I believe if I go over $100 in North Carolina, I have to report that.
Well, I'm saying, let's suppose you just take it upon yourself to do it.
Yeah, I think if I spend more than $100 on it, I have to report it. It's not how it should be. It's a violation of the First Amendment. I'm with you.
I'm just talking about doing it on your own.
Yeah.
I don't think, and plenty of people have done this, is that an in-kind contribution? And people like me bought a Trump hat. That's not a contribution. My name's not going to be listed. So anyway, I'm just saying a whole lot of stuff gets unreported. And I know you saw in the pilot, and we had the story here first, where Jamie Bowles was accused of a felony for not reporting his address correctly on his filing form. He wasn't living at the address that he put down. Period. He was living somewhere else. But yet they just shoved that one right under the carpet so fast it made everyone's head swim. And then tried to turn it back on the one filing the complaint. So I don't understand why it got swept. You know, let me give you a backstory to all this. A few years ago, there was a guy named Matt. Can't remember his last name.
Genius.
Who was running for the school board. And his mother made him 3 posters. You know, vote for my son, Matt, or whatever, some of that nature. And they were displayed somewhere at an event where he was at, along with the school board or whatever. These were handmade posters by his mom. And Matt failed to disclose it on his disclosure form at the end of the quarter. And one of his opponents went and smoked over his filing report and said, "Where are those posters?" And they weren't on there. At which time they charged him with a felony of not reporting a contribution. And they did convict him of the felony. So he went from running for school board to never being able to run for a public office because he now has a felony on his record. When Jamie put down an address he did not live at, he gets squashed.
The other guy got a felony for 3 signs?
Yes. That his mother made.
And Jamie was not living at that address at the time that he filed.
Correct. According to the person that lives at that address, is my understanding. So, he moved out in November. Filing was in February. So plenty of time had lapsed, and he was at his new residence. And I don't know where that is, but the good old boy system got to play here and just squashed that little technicality. He tried to turn it on everybody and say, "You're just trying to embarrass me over my personal life," and that wasn't the case. You just plain committed the felony by writing down your address in the wrong place. But if they're going to go crucify someone else who's trying to get in office for 3 posters, which they did, in fact, it embarrassed him so bad he moved to Tennessee, left the community, and I somehow ran into a chain of conversations that involved him, and someone in Tennessee was hammering him, "Oh yeah, this is coming from a convicted felon." Yeah, so it follows you.
That's absolutely true.
So anyway, that's pretty petty to be convicted of a felony. But if they're seriously enforcing the rules, then but with, like I said, you're connected to the good old boy system, and it just gets swept right under the rug so fast. All right, 7:55. Anything else? Not that we want to hear. All right, let's do things we need to know so we don't sound stupid today. We'll do this day in history right quick. It was on this day, way back 128 years ago, in 1890, Joseph Merrick, the Elephant Man, died at the age of 27. 71 years ago, Jackie Robinson became the first black player in Major League Baseball. 52 years ago in 66, 26-year-old Jack Nicklaus won his 3rd Masters tournament.
Now, Robinson was brave. Robinson had to fight a lot to get that.
Yeah. 1970, Apollo 13 blasted off on his ill-fated mission to the moon. You've seen the movie. The Beatles' Let It Be hit number 1 on this day, 48 years ago in 1970. In 81, Eddie Van Halen married Valerie Bertinelli. The relationship exploded in 2001, so it lasted 20 years.
I had a crush on her when she was on TV.
Yeah, one of my ex-wives waited on her and said she was a bit snooty.
That's it. I don't have a crush on her.
That was her experience. Yeah, I remember my ex-wife. That's a story unto itself. All right. Things we need to know so we don't sound stupid today. CBS is sweating bullets, not knowing what's going to come about Charlie Rose's sexual escapades while he was with the network. An investigation is said to be finding more and more and more and more stuff. Richard Overton of Austin, Texas, has some pretty impressive genes. His birthday comes up next month when he'll turn 112 years old. Part of his secret to a long life, smoking a dozen cigars a day, and the occasional whiskey and Coke. NFL Hall of Famer Troy Aikman confirms that he and his wife of 10 years have split. Apple announced that it is now powered entirely by renewable energy. Oh, gee. Luckily, they can afford it.
We need that Christian Bale clip of, "Oh, good for you." I mean, it's good. You're right. They can afford it.
Harry Potter and the Cursed Child has become the top-grossing play in Broadway history and is still just in previews.
Have you heard of it?
Nope, not till now. LSD is reportedly making a comeback with some professionals dropping acid before work. Yeah, just wait till all the cars drive themselves. Everybody be sitting in there doing something, smoking weed or whatever, going to work or school.
Everybody's getting stoned.
Almost half of the men do this on a daily basis. What is it? Our
half of men do this
possible question
on a daily basis. Half men.
Yeah, they check for the bald spot and thinning hair.
Oh.
8 o'clock, here's your news and weather and
Quiet
sports.
weather over the next several days and a warm-up headed our way. Temperatures will continue to climb over the next several days. After a chilly start this morning, we'll have mild temperatures this afternoon. Mostly sunny with highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Mostly clear and chilly tonight with lows in the low to mid-40s. And then Thursday looks great. Plenty of sunshine with highs in the upper 60s to middle 70s. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
97.3 FM and 990 AM. WPDB Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen. And on the web at talk973.com.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. He's serving notice on the Kremlin.
Responding to Russia's vow to shoot down any missiles fired at Syria, President Trump is telling Russia to get ready. In a morning tweet, he says missiles will be coming, nice and new and smart. Mr. Trump doesn't say whether he was referring to military action by the U.S. or one of its allies. He also admonishes Russia for supporting the Syrian regime, calling President Assad a gas-killing animal.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston in the aftermath of chemical weapons attacks on Syrian civilians. NATO's U.S. representative Kay Bailey Hutchison says America should not be alone in moving against the Assad regime.
I think the world should stand up and say, we can't allow this, and we want to have some kind of response, and hopefully one with allies together.
But so far, no action on Syria at the UN.
The United Nations Security Council met for the fourth time yesterday since a suspected chemical attack in Syria. And once again, the international body was unable to agree on meaningful action. Dueling resolutions to determine responsibility, one put forth by the United States, the other by Russia, suffered defeats. Also rejected was a Russian-drafted resolution calling for an investigation because, as British Prime Minister Karen Pierce pointed out, no blame would have been assigned.
It would be like watching a fire and identifying that there's a fire and doing nothing to put it out.
I'm Mike Rossier.
Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg back on Capitol Hill today, a second day of his testimony focusing on user data privacy. Algeria's defense ministry says 257 people have died. The crash of a military plane carrying soldiers and their families went down in northern Algeria. Wall Street, Dow futures down 207 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
It's probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards. The interest on the cards was really high. I was making the minimum payments, but barely. And it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
They met with me, and they were able to get all of my credit cards in one lower payment.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
They did help me learn how to manage my money. Now, we have a house, and we're doing a lot better.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Holly, and I am debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
Thousands of mourners turned out for a memorial service for anti-apartheid activist Winnie Mandela, held in a South African stadium.
Orlando Stadium in the heart of Soweto is a sea of black, green and yellow, the colors of the ruling African National Congress. But this isn't a party event. South Africans have gathered to commemorate the memory of struggle stalwart Winnie Madikizela Mandela. In the days after her death, questions have been asked about her legacy, which has in part been tarnished, but for the people here, she was a hero.
That's a BBC's Pumza Filani in Soweto. Authorities in Switzerland and Italy searching for a German retailing billionaire. He's been missing in the Alps since the weekend when he failed to return from a ski excursion on the Matterhorn. The man was training for a ski race when he disappeared on Switzerland's famous peak. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. President Trump has signed an executive order encouraging work requirements for welfare recipients, among other steps.
The president's order, signed with no fanfare, promotes common sense reforms to reduce dependency on government programs. It focuses on exploring new requirements for benefits like food stamps, cash, and housing assistance. The administration's already allowing states to push Medicaid recipients and those on the SNAP food program to work in some capacity, and is looking to raise the age at which recipients would be exempt. Advocates say imposing strict work requirements on people who are already vulnerable could have dire consequences for them. Jackie Quinn, Washington.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions heads to the Southwest today. He'll address a meeting in New Mexico of border region sheriffs. Sessions' visit is expected to prompt demonstrations from open border activists. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Most of us have to live on a budget. That's a fact. But smart budgeting doesn't always mean sacrifice. Hi, this is Charles McKnight. At Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai Pre-Owned, we seek to make your buying experience easy and enjoyable with no gimmicks and no games. We offer you a great selection of pre-owned cars and trucks in every price range, starting as low as $59.95, with rates as low as 2.9%. For your peace of mind, all of our vehicles are Carfax certified and almost all are local trades. We don't believe any dealership will work more diligently than Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai to provide you with a quality vehicle that's Carfax certified at a better price. Why don't you drop by and experience for yourself the Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai difference.
Spring has sprung, and summer is fast approaching. Do you know where to go? Beaver. To get your mower serviced and ready for spring, take it to Beaver. Pressure washer won't start, blower not blowing, take it to Beaver. Trimmer won't run, chainsaw won't cut, take it to Beaver. Don't be left out, have your equipment ready and your yard looking nice, and when your neighbor asks, tell him twice, take it to Beaver. Beaver Equipment, located just off NC Highway 211 East in Aberdeen, or give them a call at 910-944-0402 and take it to Beaver.
Spring is coming, and what better time to update your floors? From April 2nd to May 12th, you can spring for green and get a rebate of up to $500 on select Shaw floors. Plus, enjoy 24-month special financing. Choose Shaw Carpet, hardwood, resilient, laminate, tile, or stone, and save. See store for details.
Visit Aberdeen Carpet on Highway 5 in Aberdeen near the Habitat store. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturdays 9 to 4. Go to aberdeencarpet.com or call 944-6204.
This is Ken Byrd, and I'm running for the North Carolina House of Representatives, District 52. My priorities are straightforward. Our education system needs full funding and support. The tier system must be modified or repealed, and the North Carolina Lottery Act needs to return to its original intent. There needs to be open communication and collaboration with our county commissioners to promote more county. On May 8th, vote for Ken Byrd for the North Carolina House of Representatives, District 52. This message was paid for by the committee to elect Byrd for the North Carolina House.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Algeria's defense ministry says 257 people have died when a military plane carrying soldiers and their families crashed soon after takeoff in a farm field in northern Algeria. BBC's Rana Jawad has more from Malta.
We know that the plane crashed shortly after taking off, some 20 miles away from the capital, Algiers, and it crashed near a highway that wasn't very far from the Bufadik military airport. We know that this military airport is known to be home to the air transport fleet for the Algerian Air Force.
A Cumberland County teacher was arrested on Tuesday after authorities say she assaulted a student at Howard Learning Academy. Deputies say 36-year-old Kristen Cook grabbed a student by the throat and pushed her into a table during an incident reported on March 21st. Authorities said later in the day, Cook grabbed the child by the hair and forced her to the ground. Cook told WTVD News,
"I'm not taking away or justifying anything that I did. I wish there was something I could have done differently."
President Trump and some European allies may be mulling an attack on the Syrian regime in response to a chemical attack it allegedly launched against civilian targets. CBS News anchor Anne-Marie Green has details.
President Trump consulted with European leaders about a possible joint military response as early as the end of this week. Russia, Syria's key ally, is warning the U.S. to refrain from an illegal military adventure. And European air traffic controllers are warning airlines of possible airstrikes.
A teen has been arrested in the death of a man who was missing in Charlotte. Jamie Melendez Suarez was arrested on Tuesday and charged with murder in the death of Jacob Hernandez. A former assistant federal prosecutor is now in private practice, and President Donald Trump has picked him to fill a vacant federal judgeship in western North Carolina. Charlotte attorney Ken Bell was chosen for the judgeship. You're listening to NCN News.
The feel of the open road. No obligations. Just you, your classic car, and freedom from it all. No! The nightmare's over. You use Staybell 360 ethanol treatment to protect your dream machine from harmful ethanol effects like gum, varnish, and corrosion. Rest easy, car guy. Your engine's running smoothly year-round. Staybell 360. Freedom for your engine and you. Available where fuel additives are sold.
For 31 years, Merlefest, presented by Winterworld, has delivered music, moments, and memories to thousands. Join us April 26th through the 29th as some of music's greatest stars gather to perform at this annual musical homecoming. Here, Steep Canyon Rangers with special guests Steve Martin, Chris Christopherson, Jamie Johnson, The Mavericks, Bela Fleck and Abigail Washburn, Robert Earl Keen, Rihanna Giddens, Tommy Emmanuel and Jerry Douglas, Sam Bush, Mandolin Orange, and more. Visit merlefest.org today for a full lineup and tickets.
The Justice Department's looking into 7 elite colleges and the information they apparently share about applicants for admission.
Williams, Wesleyan, Middlebury, Amherst, Wellesley, Grinnell, Pomona all offer the option of early decision. Successful applicants are then obligated to attend. Now all 7 colleges are the targets of a new federal probe into possible antitrust violations, to which the collective response seems to be, The schools insist they only share information about applicants to ensure none are cheating. They say they don't share information about regular decision candidates. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Elizabethtown Town Council members voted this week to remove 2 items pertaining to a gun ordinance from the agenda. The council is looking to amend an ordinance to prohibit the carrying and the display of handguns, firearms, and other weapons at certain public locations. Town manager Eddie Madden tells WECT News.
Obviously, there'll be a share of opinions about it, and I think that's why the board wants to be very diligent and careful about what they do finally adopt.
WFOR television reporter Hank Tester looks at why the Broward County School Board voted down a motion to arm public school teachers in wake of the recent shootings at Stoneman Douglas High School, which left 17 dead.
There's state money on the table, $67 million in the Arm the School Employees scheme. The Broward County School Board wanted spent elsewhere on arming school resource officers.
I think we should definitely launch a campaign to persuade the governor for those districts who don't want to arm their employees, that they give us the money to keep our children safe in other ways.
Board members stressed more money for mental health issues and quickly killed the armed teachers and security guards in schools.
The only 7 North Carolina women who've received the title Justice have been honored with a special ceremony as the 200th anniversary of the state Supreme Court approaches. That happened in Raleigh yesterday. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Another chilly start today and mild afternoon. We'll have a bigger warm-up as we head into Thursday and especially Friday. For today, mostly sunny skies with high temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Mostly clear skies tonight into Thursday morning and still on the chilly side with lows in the low to mid 40s. Thursday, we'll have plenty of sunshine, and it's warmer with highs in the upper 60s to low to mid 70s. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, still cloudy, still 43 degrees, humidity 89%. Dew point at 40, pressure 3021, winds calm, visibility 10 statute miles. 8:13. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Wednesday hump day. A Carthage woman was being held on a high bond after being arrested on multiple drug charges earlier this week. The 28-year-old Brittany Jordan Smith from Martin Street address in Carthage was charged with possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver a Schedule II controlled substance as well as other drug-related charges. She was transported to the Moore County Detention Center under a $350,000 secured bond. And a small wooded tract set aside as a community park in the Legacy Lake subdivision was clear-cut last week, prompting the Aberdeen Town Board to issue a steep penalty against the developer. The pilot reporting that by unanimous consent during the work session held Monday, the maximum daily fine of $200 per violation with 18 trees, illegally removed trees on record, will be applied to McKee Homes until the remediation plan is approved and implemented. Long story short, that amount will be $3,600 per day in fines. The plan, according to Town Commissioner Kim Bird, the plan that was developed for the site was very aesthetic. There were walking trails and a bench, and the big trees were to be left in place. Bird also went on to say it was going to be a nature area. Planning Director Pam Graham said the approved site plan for the park included tree surveys, and any tree over 12 inches in diameter had to be flagged for preservation. Yesterday, the Pat McGee did speak candidly with the pilot briefly. He said there is always a second side to the story. McKee Homes purchased 20 lots surrounding the park that are being developed as an age-targeted community within the larger development. The preserve section is marketed as a Goff Front or Goff View home site with gorgeous wooded natural trees. Gorgeous wooded natural areas. Planned amenities for the section included a gazebo with sitting area, fire pit, and community garden. This was not the case where we had to build an amenity, but where we invested our own money to make this amenity for the community and for these 20 homes, McGee said. This was strictly voluntary. It is being painted as it would be a very natural space, but people's definition of open space can vary. The plan calls for areas that were going to be sodded with a gazebo and fire pit area, so it's not correct for folks to paint the picture that the space would be barely touched or cleared. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:17.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The final day of the NBA season has arrived, with Minnesota and Denver set to play for the last playoff spot. None of the 8 first-round matchups were set until this final day. Last night, Dwight Howard finished with 14 points and 17 rebounds, and Frank Kaminsky tied a career high with 24 points to lead the Charlotte Hornets past Indiana, 119-93. Indiana's locked up the number 5 seed in the East, and Charlotte going nowhere. But their win came hours after Mitch Kupchak was introduced as the Hornets' new GM and president of basketball operations. More on that story coming up. Utah cruised to a 119-79 victory over Golden State, and the Jazz can claim the 3rd seed in the West with a win over Portland tonight. J.J. Redick scored 28 points, and the surging 76ers set a franchise record with their 15th consecutive win. They held off the Atlanta Hawks to move a step closer to locking up the 3rd seed in the East. Washington beat Boston last night, 113-101, and they remain in play for either the 6, 7, or 8 seed in the East. For now, the Wizards are 8th. Back to the new leadership in Charlotte, Mitch Kupchak. He said he's confident Michael Jordan's Hornets will be an NBA playoff team again soon, possibly even next season. Kupchak's got more than 3 decades of experience in NBA front offices. He was the GM behind 4 of the Lakers' NBA championships. He won championships as a player in Washington and Los Angeles. And he also played at North Carolina, where he was a standout and had his jersey retired in the Dean Spitz Center.
I look forward to being back in North Carolina, the state that I know has great basketball fans, and hopefully we can create an environment that we not only win games, but win playoff games. I'm excited. I know I've got the support of everybody in this building, which is incredibly important.
The Hornets' new GM, though, was vague when it came to pressing questions surrounding the future of the franchise, and that included the top player, Kemba Walker, as well as Dwight Howard, and the coach, Steve Clifford. This is NCN Sports.
First place in election reporting. First place in editorials. Another honor for news enterprise reporting. Carolina Journal earned all 3 awards from the North Carolina Press Association. When Carolina Journal watches government, people pay attention. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
The Powerade State Games of North Carolina are coming this June to the Piedmont Triad. Registration is open for athletes of all ages and skill levels in 24 different sports. The Powerade State Games feature 13,000 athletes in 700 teams. Don't miss out on the largest sports festival of the year. Visit PoweradeStateGames.org today. The Powerade State Games are brought to you by BB&T, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, and Lowe's Foods. For more information, visit PoweradeStateGames.org.
NC State is among 4 schools that were named Tuesday when additional federal charges were filed against 3 people in an ongoing bribery scandal probe into college basketball. Louisville, Miami, and Kansas were also named in the rewritten federal indictment that was released Tuesday in the New York case, which alleges that an Adidas representative paid athletes and families willing to commit to the schools. According to court papers, the Adidas representative, who no longer works for the company, agreed to facilitate payments to the family of Dennis Smith Jr. to ensure the top prospect remained committed to the Wolfpack in 2015. Monster Energy will remain the title sponsor of NASCAR's Top Cup Series through 2019 under a new contract extension. Monster is not expected to be back next year, as NASCAR will reevaluate how it sells the sponsorship. The energy drink company signed a 2-year deal in 2016. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Pride Plumbing is proud to serve Moore County with superior workmanship and dependable plumbing service, including 24/7 emergency service. Like the name says, we take pride in our work and your safety. Our employees must pass background and drug tests and share Pride Plumbing's reputation for quality service. From simple leaky faucets to new water heaters and sewer lines, backflow testing and installation, drain cleaning, plumbing repairs, and, if necessary, replacement and remodeling. A family business with over 50 years of prideful service. Go online to callprideplumbing.com and check out our 5-star customer reviews. We offer a 10% discount to all veterans and active military. Call Pride Plumbing of Moore County at 910-295-0152. 910-295-0152. Serving with pride since 1965.
The Honda Dream Garage Spring Event is going on now at Leith Honda Aberdeen. Leith Honda Aberdeen makes it easy for you with these sign and drive specials. Lease a new 2018 Honda CR-V LX 2-wheel drive for $299 a month with zero due-it signing. Or lease a 2018 Honda Pilot EXL 2-wheel drive for $399 with zero due-it signing. Just sign and drive. Leith Honda Aberdeen. Easy to get to and easy to deal with. 48-month lease with approved credit offer expires 4/30/18.
Great news at Leith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Aberdeen. The spring sales event is going on now, where Leith makes it easy for you. Lease a new 2018 Jeep Wrangler JK Sport for $299 a month. Or lease a new 2018 Ram 1500 Express Quad Cab 4x2 for $299 a month. Both with zero due-it signing. Just sign and drive. Leith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Aberdeen. Easy to get to and easy to deal with. 36-month lease with approved credit. Offer expires 4/30/18.
Whether it's signature, choose your own crafted recipes like sweet barbecue bacon sandwiches, the all-day breakfast, the $1, $2, $3 menu, McCafe premium coffees, or the new fresh cooked ground beef hamburgers, McDonald's is premium quality without the premium price. Be sure to get the McDonald's app on your phone for deals on the download, mobile order, mobile pay, and curbside pickup. It's McDonald's way of saving you time and money.
Aberdeen Prescription Shop is one of the best independent pharmacies. Despite the chain stores, customers prefer Aberdeen Prescription Shop for its personal service, drive-through window, and free delivery. All major insurance is accepted, including TRICARE. Order your prescriptions online at AberdeenRxShop.com or call 944-1313, 944-1313, or visit the Town and Country Shopping Center on US 1. Aberdeen Prescription Shop.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Hey, it's Keith again from Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More in Southern Pines.
At Sweet Dreams, we do more than just mattresses. We do recliners. And right now, you can customize your comfort with the purchase of a luxurious Fjords chair. Choose from over 30 100% leather and cloth chairs with 8 different wood colors to complement your baby nursery, office, or man cave. Buy today and get $400 off any Fjords chair and get free white glove delivery. We will even donate your old recliner to charity at the locally owned Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More in Southern Pines, across the entrance to Goodwill. Better sleep, sweeter dreams.
The Honda Dream Garage Spring Event is going on now at Leith Honda Aberdeen. Leith Honda Aberdeen makes it easy for you with these sign and drive specials. Lease a new 2018 Honda CR-V LX two-wheel drive for $299 a month with zero due-it signing. Or lease a 2018 Honda Pilot EXL two-wheel drive for $399 with zero due-it signing. Just sign and drive. Leith Honda Aberdeen. Easy to get to and easy to deal with. 48-month lease with approved credit. Offer expires 4/30/18.
Great news at Leith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Aberdeen. The spring sales event is going on now, where Leith makes it easy for you. Lease a new 2018 Jeep Wrangler JK Sport for $299 a month. Or lease a new 2018 Ram 1500 Express Quad Cab 4x2 for $299 a month. Both with zero due-it signing. Just sign and drive. Leith Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Aberdeen. Easy to get to and easy to deal with. 36-month lease with approved credit. Offer expires 4/30/18.
Explore, experiment, create, repeat. Keys Appliance Center has the KitchenAid tools you need and the savings you want, with up to $1,600 back on your dream kitchen with KitchenAid brand appliances. Stop in today. There's no limit on what you can craft in your kitchen. Designed to empower performance and built for your exploration, KitchenAid and Keys Appliance Center help you discover your culinary ambition. Shop today at Keys Appliance Center for KitchenAid brand appliances. Offer valid January 3rd through July 18th, 2018. See store for full details and qualified models.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt zone. I want to talk about something that's happening right now. While I sit in my comfortable office and wish I hadn't eaten so much dinner. Even as you listen to my voice, there are members of our military all over the world. Many of them are in danger, real danger. I'll just leave it at that. When you see these folks around town, in or out of uniform, it's easy to forget that these are warriors. There's a war going on, and they're fighting it. We should do all we can to honor them. I'm proud to live in Moore County, a community where we do indeed honor our military. I want to tell you about a group of combat veterans we sometimes forget. Women. There's been a lot in the news about whether or not to allow women in combat. Well, no matter how you feel about it, women are in combat and have been there for some time. I watched a program the other day on Netflix that discussed the way the Army seized a film made after World War II about the effects of what we now call PTSD. They didn't want that information to get out. Didn't want people to know how badly it affects persons who've experienced war. Well, we know now, and thank God we're treating our wounded. You need to know, though, that there are lots of female combat veterans who are suffering right along with the rest of us. Don't forget them. And please, please, when you're praying, don't forget the families. They need help, too, to get through the awfulness of having a deployed loved one. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow in the Zumwalt zone.
Quiet weather over the next several days and a warm-up headed our way. Temperatures will continue to climb over the next several days. After a chilly start this morning, we'll have mild temperatures this afternoon. Mostly sunny with highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Mostly clear and chilly tonight with lows in the low to mid-40s. And then Thursday looks great. Plenty of sunshine with highs in the upper 60s to middle 70s. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills number one morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
This is not radio fantasy camp. We're on the air here.
I like waking up in the morning, breathing in the air, actually realizing I've made it through the night and I haven't wet the bed.
Just moronic commentary and stupid sound effects, and it's just dumb. It doesn't make any sense.
Come on, it's showtime.
Shines on a rainy day. It's a cloud.
Good morning. Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM. WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm the LeaderMan's misshapen sidekick, Matt Horsley. Text line number is 690-0116, 910-690-0116.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link that will get you there. If you're on a mobile device, your YouTube app will get you there. Just put Mornings with the LeaderMan, LeaderMan, all one word, into the application search box. And if you're on your mobile device and just need audio, try TuneIn or iTunes or any other music platform. We'll play it too. Just put WEEB into the search engine, and we should pop up at the top. And, of course, if you're on our webpage anytime, 24/7, 365, well, at talk973.com, that icon in the upper right-hand corner that says Listen Live, tap that, and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area going to be pretty much a carbon copy of yesterday. Partly cloudy today, high of 65. Tonight, clear skies. Look for a low of 46. Then for Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 75. We warm up more on Friday, 80 under mostly sunny skies. Saturday, 81. And then a front comes through on Saturday night into Sunday morning. Give us a few showers and cloudy skies again, high of 78 though. But on the backside of this front is going to be cooler weather. So for Monday, most partly cloudy, scattered thunderstorms, high of 64. But then Tuesday, back to the threat of rain is gone, and it'll be sunny and 65 again. I kind of like the 65. Seems like the perfect number.
For those who may not know, you don't mind 80 as long as it's not humid.
Right. I don't mind 100 if it's not humid. If it's a dry heat, we're ready to rock and roll. Because your body can then kind of keep you cool. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure is 30-21, dew point is 40, and as we approach warmer weather, that dew point becomes more and more important. And the magic number, boys and girls, do you remember it from last year, Matt?
No.
63. Anything below 63 is good in the hot days. Anything above 63, you start feeling sticky real fast. If that dew point hits 70, it's like a wet sponge. Hot, muggy wet sponge.
But it is good for your skin.
I don't know. Right now, it's humidity is 89%. Let me refresh this. It's still saying cloudy and 43 degrees. Is it cloudy out there?
It is. It's overcast.
Okay. 43 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB.
Solidly overcast.
All right. Let's see. Yesterday, we had 5 common misused phrases that can make you sound dumb, like saying all intents and purpose when it's actually all intents and purposes. And today, we got 5 more fresh ones for you.
Bring them on. I got them all right yesterday.
No, you missed one.
No, I didn't. That intents and purposes one, no, I got that right.
All right. It's a mute point.
Moot point. M-O-O-T.
That's correct. Obviously, mute means to silence something. Moot means something that's insignificant.
These are good. You're getting all my pet peeves out of the way here.
Deep-seated.
Deep-seated?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one I don't know, because I would say deep-seated with a T, but now when you tell me that, it sounds like maybe seated, S-E-E-D would be.
That's correct. I was saying deep-seed as in S-E-E-D-E-D, which is incorrect, and it should be deep-seated.
Yeah, seated, so the
S-E-A-T-E-D.
Firmly ensconced.
It means something buried deeply within an existing structure.
But I thought most people say seated with it, S-E-A-T. But anyway.
The term shoe-in is actually spelled how?
Well, I assume S-H-O-E-I-N.
No. S-H-O-O. It only matters when you're writing it. It comes from the horse racing term shoe, which meaning to urge in a certain direction, as in that horse was going to win, and then they'll shoe him into the winner's circle.
Well, that's interesting.
Let's see.
I just envisioned slipping your foot into a shoe.
Should have married her.
Should have is what it is.
That's correct.
Some people say should have.
Should have was incorrect English. People get confused because the contraction should have sounds like should of. So it's another one that just really a matter of when you write it. And it's a doggy-dog world.
Dog eat dog.
Well, that's right. A doggy-dog would sound cute, but dog-eat-dog world describes a ruthless place.
It's a Snoop Doggy-Dog world, baby.
So you got them all right today.
Where's my bell?
Didn't get to buzzing. But we're getting ready to. You don't get out of it that quick.
You're not going to give me a bell or anything?
No. I don't bell
Oh,
you.
what a crock.
That's not a manly thing to do. And no wonder you register high on the on the estrogen every week.
I got them all right. Thank me.
There we go, stupid phone stuff. It's time for, we have an intro for this. Instead of me doing it.
Actually, I didn't get it right, come to think of it.
Now it's time for Yes!
Yes! Yes! Yes! Yes!
Or BS.
Don't get me back to good bullshit.
I miss shoeing.
All right. Well, we've moved on to yes or BS.
Hit me.
We give you a statement, you decide yes is true or no is total BS, and today is National Pet Day.
I always get these right anyway.
So the topic is pet facts. More Americans own cats than dogs.
No BS.
Yeah, that is BS. About 43 million Americans' homes have dogs compared to how many homes with cats?
It's fewer than 43 million, actually.
I need a number.
About 40 million.
36 million. But there are more cats because we're more likely to own more than one of them.
You didn't let me finish. I was going to say 40 million, give or take 5 million. So I got that one right.
The word corgi, wait a minute, we'll do that in a second. The word corgi is Welsh and literally means dwarf dog.
Yes.
It is true. The breed originated in Wales. Goldfish don't have stomachs.
Goldfish don't have stomachs. BS.
Yes, all of the food they eat is broken down as it moves through their intestines. Scientific evidence has shown that when dogs poop, they like to align themselves according to the Earth's magnetic field.
BS.
It's true. A study in 2013 found that when the magnetic field is stable, dogs tend to align themselves with the north-south axis while doing their business.
So does that mean if we're going through a polar shift that the dogs are all going to go crazy?
Well, here's the good thing. If you're lost in the woods and you don't know which way you're going, but you know it's, east or north or south or west, Wait till the dog poop.
Hey, does the dog need the crap yet?
That's your north-south line, and by the sun, you can tell which way east and west will be. Or the moon.
It's a crappy way to tell.
And lastly, the first cat door was invented by Leonardo da Vinci.
The first cat door was invented... No, BS.
It is BS. Do you know which famous inventor?
It was invented by the guy that invented peanut butter. Booker T. Washington.
It was Isaac Newton came up with the first cat door.
What a genius. Was Booker T. Washington the guy that invented peanut butter?
I have no idea.
I'll look it up. I think it was.
I know it will bother you until you bang around on that super speed computer there.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that means we're at rim shot point in time in here on this program. It took 55 years to shoot one battle scene. 55 years. It took 55 days to shoot one battle scene for Game of Thrones. Apparently, the producers wouldn't let them stop until they made sure every woman in the scene showed at least one nipple.
Sounds about right.
David Swimmer says not all cases of sexual misconduct are the same, and there should be a spectrum of bad behavior. And also, once and for all, it's okay to have sex with someone else when you or your girlfriend are on a break.
George Washington Carver, but peanut butter existed before him.
Remember Kate Goslin? Kate plus 8? Is getting a new series about her dating life. It's called Kate Plus Guys Who Will Endure Anything Just to Get on TV. Americans watch on an average of 4 hours of TV per day. I don't understand where they find that kind of time. I mean, personally, I'm too busy on Facebook for such things. Angelina Jolie and Queen Elizabeth will appear in a documentary about trees, and audiences are already napping with anticipation.
I wonder how that show's going to branch off. Leave it to me, Steve.
You see, a bad comic will tell a stupid joke like that.
Now, are you trying to get to the root of things?
And then point out his joke as though nobody heard it.
I'm going to get mad and start barking at you.
Because, you see, nobody laughs at it, so that's why he tries to say that there was a joke there.
Hey, Steve, stop throwing shade at me.
Daniel Day-Lewis was recently spotted using a flip phone in New York City. He was immediately awarded the Oscar for Best Use of a Flip Phone in New York City. 2 Milwaukee reporters got into a fight at a Brewers game, and in the process, the reporters did something truly newsworthy. They actually made baseball interesting. Investigators took Michael Cohen's computer, phone, and personal finance records as part of a search. We don't know if he's guilty, but we do know without a computer or phone, he's definitely bored. Michelle Obama says Donald Trump is like a bad parent who lets his kid eat candy, stay up late, and break all the rules. I totally disagree. He would never share his candy, would he? And that's your rim shots for today.
The Chum Gang guy was the good parent.
All right, 8:43, 43 past the hour. I guess that means it's time once again to go chase some bad guys.
And you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the
All right, my friends, it's time once again So draw in that big breath of air, let that big hairy chest stick out as we strut across the floor in the style of the Duke, John Wayne. Open up our closet doors, look at all our Liberty safes. Today we're going to go to the big fat one because it's full of big, fat guns. And that's safe number 17.
The Liberty Fat Boy safe.
And we'll open her up. And now we'll let Matt reach in and grab the ones that leave the biggest holes in you.
All right, Steve. First of all, here is your holster. You got to strap this to your hip. It's just not going to fit under your arm. But I'm going to give you a Taurus Raging Bull Model 454, which obviously shoots the 454 Castle round. And it is big, baby.
All right, we'll throw that into the holster, pin on our badge, grab 5 cans of whoop ass. And we only need 4 today. Got bigger bullets. And off we go. In relentless pursuit of some stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1. This is not the heist of the century right here. A family in Columbia, South Carolina got home earlier this month and found that a burglar had kicked in their back door. But as they searched around to figure out what he had stolen, they figured out the only thing the burglar took was 2 chicken nuggets from the fridge. The police say the value of the missing nuggets is estimated at a whopping $1. Cost of fixing the door around $100. As far as we know, they don't have any leads yet. And stupid criminal news number 2. Last week, thousands of teachers in Oklahoma started to walk out to protest their absurdly low pay and the lack of funding from their schools. There's a hell of
low pay.
There's a hell of a cause, and one that draws support from all over the world. But there's one teacher who tried her hardest to give the entire thing a bad name. 35-year-old Carrie Hoffman is a teacher from Clinton, Oklahoma. And apparently, she used the walkout as a chance to have sex with a 15-year-old male student. She picked the kid up to take him to a rally at the state capitol building last week, but she had sex with him beforehand. And then again when she dropped him off. She and her husband went to the police on Saturday where she admitted what she had done. Now she's in jail and facing several charges, including 2 counts of second-degree rape. She's looking at a maximum sentence of over 50 years in prison.
She's not getting 50 years.
Well, she's going to get some years. None of them are going to be fun. There goes the marriage, the reputation, boom.
I don't know, Steve. She's going to be locked up in a women's prison. If you have to be in prison, wouldn't that be the one to be in?
And that's your stupid criminal news for this Wednesday Hump Day. All right. It is 8:48 now, 48 past the hour. Wednesday morning, LeaderMan in progress. Let's do this. We didn't get to things we need to know, so we don't sound stupid today. 5% of people play games on this while driving.
Well, their phone, I assume.
Yep. 68% of women say they should never wear these, especially on a date. I'm sorry, 50% of women said men should never wear these, especially on a date.
Pleated pants.
No.
I don't get that pleated pants thing, but okay. Jeans.
What kind of jeans?
Dad jeans.
What?
Dad jeans.
No. Skinny jeans.
Skinny jeans. I'm not even sure what skinny...
Who wants it? I don't know why. You see these people on TV, these guys. They're all doing it now. Entertainment Tonight and some of the reporters and the like, and they're determined to wear these skinny pants. The new suits that look like if you breathe, the buttons are going to pop off. And then these guys have starved themselves to be able to fit in these things. So the head looks a little too big for the body now because the body's so lean of any fat.
Just the opposite of Adam Schiff. Little tiny head.
But then they wear the skinny, tight pants, and you see their bony little legs. And who finds that attractive?
I don't know. But we wore polyester back in your day, so what are you complaining about?
Yeah, leisure suits and silk shirts and big collars.
Staying alive. Thank me.
Yeah, for about 3 months there, you were stylish. That's when they started looking as stupid as they did. Disney World buys more of these than any other company in North America.
Disney World.
I would say, at first glance, would be light bulbs, but that's not it.
Cups.
Fireworks.
Oh, that makes sense.
37% of men would like to purchase this before they die. And we're talking, go ahead.
A hot rod, a hot car.
You're on the right track. It is a car.
Convertible? Lamborghini?
Give me brand and style.
Oh, man. A Corvette Stingray.
You're on the right track. Ford Mustang.
Ford Mustang.
50% of pet owners claim their dog enjoys doing this.
Watching TV?
Yeah. Mine don't watch the TV. They just lay next to me watching TV. 24% of people say they did pretty much this at work this week.
Nothing.
That's right. Just like Matt.
That's because 34% of them work for the government. That's not fair. It's 95% of you giving a bad name to the other 5%.
All right, let's see if he can match the mouth this morning.
I can, because I'm always good at this.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, let's see how good you really are.
You're never going to find that out, Steve.
You want to know my secret? I pray a lot. Was that Madonna, Oprah, Cardi B, Katy Perry, or Kate Hudson?
Oprah. Kate Hudson.
And he says he gets this all the time.
I said I get him right. Just because you buzzed me at the wrong time. Cardi B.
It was Cardi B.
Whatever.
Just because you draw big crowds doesn't mean you're winning the election. If all you needed to win was a big crowd of people, our next president would be IKEA on a Saturday. Was that Joe Biden, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, or Hillary Rotten Clinton?
Oh, man. I'm going to say Seth Meyers.
It was Seth Meyers. Did you cheat?
No, Denim Man.
All right. Reflecting on where I came from helps me to appreciate the balance of what I have now. Was that Cardi B, Meghan Markle, Lady Gaga, Kourtney Kardashian, or Deborah Messing?
Read the quote one more time, please.
Reflecting on where I came from helps me to appreciate and balance what I have now.
It sounds too bright, but I'm going to say Kim Kardashian.
It was too bright.
Meghan Markle. Who was the last one on that list?
She's too busy getting married. She isn't saying anything.
Yeah. Who was the last one?
Deborah Messing.
Deborah Messing. It's one of the other two.
You got Lady Gaga or Cardi B.
Let's say Lady Gaga.
No, actually, it was Meghan Markle.
You crackhead.
But that wasn't your first guest.
My first guest?
Yes.
I don't have any guests on this show. Go ahead, buzz me for that. I deserve it.
Yes.
I deserve it. Buzz me.
See, again, he points out his so-called joke because nobody balled over laughing about it.
There were people out there smiling, Steve.
No.
At your expense.
No, they weren't. All right, we haven't forgotten you folks that like holding up your hand and counting with us.
And now it's time for
Random facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Counting on my fingers, I always come up with 2, though.
All right, a random facts for today, maybe a spare. Fireball whiskey was originally developed as part of a line of flavored schnapps by Seagram in the mid-'80s. There are people who speak about 800 different languages in Queens, New York, which is more than any other place in the world.
Come on, how many people can speak over 800 languages?
No, there are people who speak 800 languages. That's why I say New York's the only place I've ever been, and I felt like a foreigner. I walked in a bread and breakfast there, and a breakfast place, and nobody behind the counter spoke English.
Okay, no breakfast for you.
There are people who did that. Let It Snow, Silver Bells, White Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and A Holly Jolly Christmas, and the Christmas song were all written by Jewish composers.
Yeah, knew that.
You produce between 1 and 2 liters of nasal mucus every year, and you wind up swallowing most of it. And these inflatable dancing tubes you see outside car dealerships have been around since 1996. They were originally invented as part of the opening ceremonies from a 1996 Olympic in Atlanta.
Kidding. I'd have thought those went way back, but there you go. First one just made its way into commercials as its own star, going home to its family.
Let's see. I got 45 seconds. Well, no. There's a trend that's getting more and more popular where parents are live streaming themselves punishing their kids because it's causing a huge debate online on whether or not it's appropriate. There are some sick ones out there, aren't there? Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll stop. Let's see.
The magic of live radio.
I got a story. A woman calls 911 after she loses all her money at a casino. Well, gee, I wonder how. So it goes for this Wednesday hump day. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow for a thumping Thursday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget millions of Americans. They have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.
And I'm Matt Horsley. You want fairness? Then tell me how much of what someone else earns is fair for you to take from him. Stay tuned for Chris Plant, followed by Rush Limbaugh, then Sean Hannity and Mark Levin at 6. We'll be back mañana for Mornings with the Leader Man.
When I come back, you'd better be laughing.
So, what have we learned?